Guess we'll start with audit and finance. Pretty limited agenda. You all got your financial statements, your monthly report, and the year-to-date versus budget comparisons. So I guess probably the only thing to do is see if anybody has any questions on any of the information, or if the staff has any comments about any entries or things that occurred during the month.
Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, how about staff? Anything of extraordinary note that occurred? I know that Jody, you sent out some information about reimbursement for hours worked and a couple of other things. I think it was totaling, I don't know, 100,000 or close. Could you just give us a quick recap of that?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was thinking of something else. What?
Your EDA
Yeah,
submittals?
all the submittals for the reimbursements on the Richfield Springs project. They've all been submitted at this point in time.
I don't.
Jody, didn't you send out an email that said that you would?
Yeah, what? We can jump right into that discussion on the projects committee.
Okay, well, we can wait. That's fine. I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about in audit and finance. We could move right to there if there's no questions or other comments.
Yeah, I think my only question, just looking at the financials, and this is probably more of a purview from you guys, is obviously a big loss month based on some project work. Looking at where we're running against our budget, do we still feel confident in our budget in being able to achieve an ultimate end? I know, so some reimbursements we understand are coming, just looking at what we've got here. I know pilots are later in the year. Do you guys feel confident in the budget and our operating revenues to be able to sustain our operations? Obviously, a ton of cash. I'm not worried about the money sitting in them, but just understanding kind of operationally in and out. Do we still feel pretty comfortable with the budget as it was laid out in 26 or 26?
Yeah, I mean, you're just generally looking at the fact that we have a half year in now.
Right.
Really, like
Yeah.
Carol's saying.
Yeah.
Well, it does look like we're front loaded with insurance. We've paid all the insurance costs. Yeah. So there's some things that we've already paid that won't be duplicated in the second half. But the question still stands. So how does the staff feel about hitting the budget numbers?
I think we'll be fairly consistent with what we put into the budget. We've added some additional expenses that weren't in there. For example, the Richfield Springs clearing.
The landmark.
Richfield Springs.
Which we don't get reimbursed for.
Correct. So the big outstanding question on the budget right now with Richfield Springs is the electric installation. We contacted them 2 days ago.
It mean NICEAG?
Yeah. And we just don't have an estimate right now from them.
Is that reimbursement?
No, that will not be.
And is that in the budget? Is that figure in the budget anywhere? Did you estimate?
We had a figure in there for both the gas line and the electric line.
The project budget.
Yeah.
Where are we with, do we basically get the gas line budget or?
Well, why don't we jump into the discussion on that, because there's quite a bit that's been working with EDA on this.
So Jeff, you want to finish?
So, I mean, I think what the question is without getting into details, do we feel confident in the budget for 26 that we'll still meet it and we'll still be able to achieve both revenues and expense targets with some slight variations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. So let's adjourn the audit and finance, go into projects.
All right.
So there's a couple of things that is going on that we've been working with EDA on. One is they've asked us to submit additional costs that weren't originally included in the budget. So we submitted the $57,750,000 that we paid to Capital Energy Partners, who helped us with NYSEG and the Public Service Commission. We submitted all of the Keystone expenses from beginning to current year, which have now a little over $82,000 and $44,000 of my time that I can document. They haven't responded to that because when I met with them on the site last month, they indicated they were trying to figure out a way to raise the reimbursement rate from 70% to 80%, which would give us an extra $240,000 roughly. We've been waiting to hear back from the Appalachian Regional Commission. He's been trying to reach him for about a month now. They finally communicated last week, and she indicated that she thinks that there's a way that they could raise it to 80%. And they're trying to work that out by the end of the week. What that effectively would do was pay for most of the gas line. That we reimburse. Senator Gillibrand's office contacted us at the request of Southern Tier 8. I asked them to hold off until we finalize this 70 to 80%. What I suggested to EDA was that we drop the budget by, our contribution was $375,000. I suggested we drop that down to $100,000. That 275 basically offset the entire gas line. And so that's what they're discussing, whether to do that or whether to put more money into the budget and then raise it by 80%. So that's kind of what's going on with that.
And is that a committee decision or one person decision, or does EDA go through that process of deciding?
It's ultimately their general counsel's decision. Now, what they indicated to me was that their general counsel has reviewed the proposal. And as long as they get a procedure from ARC, he's willing to sign off on raising it to 80%. So that's a big breakthrough because he's been in a real stumbling block in the past.
What's the Keystone 82-460?
Basically, all the design work.
Why wouldn't that have been in the original budget? I mean, that's a key part of the project, right?
Because we used in the application their budget estimate for this project cost.
Who's their budget?
Keystone.
Yeah, okay.
Keystone had a budget.
Okay.
We wouldn't estimate that. EDA from the Philadelphia office ruled that we could not use Keystone and for future work to be reimbursed. We contacted several engineering firms to look at taking Keystone's drawings and going to the final drawings. And all the engineering firms said, no, we won't do that. We would like to start from the beginning. We don't want to use somebody else's drawings because of liability issues. So we stuck with going to Keystone to finish the work.
Why would they not allow us to use Keystone?
They said anybody involved with the application is ineligible for participation in the EDA grant.
Makes no sense to me either.
That answers the question, which I was completely unaware of.
I mean, I think the good news here, right, is
Yep.
because of what they,
Yep.
what the Seattle office denied, they are trying to work with us back here to kind of compensate for that lost income, not lost revenue.
That's right. They do really feel sincerely sorry that the Philadelphia office approved the gas line, they approved the electric line. But they said unless you own that investment, we can't reimburse you for it.
One last quick question. The original estimate on the electric line in the project.
I think it was 100,000. So I'm sorry Craig isn't here because if you go to the very last page, there's 3 columns, total expenditures, what we submitted and has been approved to date. And then if you go below the green line, there's items that we added, which is the balance of the Angel Construction, Keystone Associates, Capital Energy Partners, and Joanne Crum. And recently, if you look at the total, and like voucher number 2 includes all the legal expenses we've incurred from Joe Scott. If you remember, we got like $32,000 worth of bills from him. We asked for reimbursement for that, and they approved 70% of those. So these are total expenditures for the total project to date. Doesn't include the electric line yet, and we're at estimated 2.389, which is fairly close to the 2.4 million that we originally budgeted.
Great.
Can I ask what's going on here? But in just in terms of the documentation, I'm not sure what's happening here. Is it supposed to be
I try to keep all of this on one sheet, so that's why I just.
okay, but this isn't milestones. This is something completely different. This is all the financial stuff, which is budget and funding. So I just am from a, like, I can't look at this and necessarily clearly understand what's happening here and what we've felt like. I mean, let's make this its own table. If you want to show that, that's great. Put a column of total expenditure status, kind of understanding what we're looking at here so that you can get your totals clearly articulated. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Like this should be its own table. It shouldn't be part of your milestones. This is kind of the financials of the project.
Right, I can
Yeah.
add it up.
Yeah, I mean, there is a budget and funding. If you don't like that layout, that's fine, but this is not project milestones. This is really budget and funding. In terms of, we got submitted and approved over here, I'm not sure what's. So, if you guys want to work on formatting that to be something, and that could be something that is used on every project going forward, so we understand what we've submitted, what we've spent, what we submitted, and what we have received back would be a good visual on the projects.
Right, the other thing that isn't in here is we don't have a reimbursement yet for the state. They won't reimburse until the project is complete.
Yeah, so that should be showing here as well, right? Like, so all that kind of stuff creates something that creates the right visibility on what's been submitted, what's outstanding, you know, what we should be getting. That gives us a really good insight on, yeah, we've spent 2.3, we've submitted this much, and we have this much more outstanding
Because the Angio construction is reimbursed, 87.
Right now, it's reimbursable at 70.833%. Hopefully it'll go up to 80%.
Oh, that's only good.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. I think this is a good piece of information to have for
That's
everybody.
why I added it.
Yeah.
That's, I think really what Craig was asking.
That's what the budget and funding section was supposed to be.
And I'll go back from 20 years ago to figure out what we paid for the park.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think we want
I
to
don't know
know.
about
I
that.
don't know.
That's
It's like we don't want to know. I mean, that's really a hard situation.
Yeah, which I can kind of breeze through. Yeah, we're done, Richard.
yeah,
But we'd like to be done with
we'd like to
Richfield.
go down Richfield, yes.
As far as the rail yard goes, Sterling Engineering has sent in their, stormwater prevention plan. It's not in here. It's-
Okay. Was in our packet though?
Yes,
It's like 200 pages.
Yeah, it's 241 pages, so if you go to your email at the time, you can look at it, it's a draft. We do have to, sign off on a form in order for them to like put the plan in motion. We did ask, well, I asked about, the wetland delineation. We don't need it on the roundhouse side, we need it on the north side where all the other wetlands are, so if we wanted to see what our future is to have parcels on that side, we would do the wetland delineation. So after conferring with a few, we just told them to go ahead and go with it.
Yeah, we
So-
never intended to build on that side. in the plan.
But there's one lot
There's one line.
farther down.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the one in the new DEC out of the blue delineation, pretty much took about half of that parcel away from what
Yeah,
I can see, which made it almost worthless, but would be worthwhile to see if we can gain some of that acreage back.
Yeah, especially since we walked it now, so he is well aware of what's what. So I just, we'll certainly just go ahead with it, so,
And that has no concrete.
no,
That would be an easy area to just take
just clear.
trees and brush out.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm still working on the, grant for the, energy study for the railroads. But other than that, there's really nothing new happening until those things get finalized.
So what's your estimate on the show, our ability to go out for bid? What's the timeline on that?
I think Andrew said we can probably get work done by September, hopefully.
Or when can we make the bid documents available for contractors?
I think once we,
Sign off.
sign off and he does his final edits and submits it, so it's a week, maybe two.
Great.
Question, is anyone available? Will there be anybody available? Can't imagine it'd be a lengthy job, but.
Well, it's a job they can do in December and January where there are some other things they can't do.
Yeah,
January, February, so it might work.
yeah.
Now, one other thing on the radar is I ran into the city administrator yesterday.
It would be great, guys.
He said the DPW crew recommends that we resurface the city portion of Roundhouse Road. The estimate is $15,000. And he's willing to split it 50-50.
Didn't he say it was a city portion of Rollins Road? That it means it's still private, but it's within the city limits?
Right.
So they'll probably, I would recommend that we go ahead and do that. They'll probably do that. They have a contract right now for city resurfacing, and they'll add that to it. They'll start sometime later in August or September.
Do we know where that ends?
Well, when,
The last building that's on,
yeah, we only had it paved to American Blade, so right before that.
That's
kind
the
of
city
ends.
portion?
Yeah. I mean, the city portion may go further, but that's all we had done before.
We did it all the way down through.
Well, eventually we did all the way down,
Right.
so
but that's all new. That was done last year.
So that should be.
Okay.
That's a year and a half.
And they need an answer.
yeah, we can wait till the board, or
Yeah, we do the board meeting.
Can we wait till the board?
can they wait? They can wait.
It's a $15,000 expenditure, split half and half.
Yeah.
We need a board.
I don't think you need board for that.
$7,500.
I mean, that to me is within your purview of operating
Absolutely.
property management.
I'm waiting for him to email me the confirmation of the proposal. So I should have that in the next day or two.
They've got a company that's here doing paving, I take it, under contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just a side note, kind of new and unfinished business, met with Terrell and Jody yesterday. Go through goals and just kind of noted, looking for an update at the next projects committee meeting where we left off in November on the different projects to reinvest in the county. So looking for something to have at the next committee meeting to discuss those projects that weren't viable, things that happened, obviously transpired, and kind of where that target is for reinvestment. So, wanted to make sure everyone was aware of that.
And the only other thing that I mentioned to Cheryl yesterday was that I did go to the county's IGA meeting. There was a lot of discussion on the subordination agreement. The IGA ultimately approved to send it to administration with their approval, contingent on the city attorney reviewing it,
County attorney.
or county attorney.
Yeah.
She contacted me yesterday and wanted to know that there was an issue that one of her staff people said, well, we haven't seen it yet. I know that they've had it now for over 10 days. So for them to say that they haven't seen it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, she contacted me yesterday, wanted to know who the third party was referenced in the contract. I explained that to her, that she wanted to know the repayment terms that we would be getting. I sent her a copy of the draft contract. So she has that.
Jody, was that Denise or was that Monica that contacted you?
No, it was actually the county attorney.
Denise. Yeah.
Monica was CC'd on it. I don't know what her role was in that
Monica, she's a deputy. That was in our meeting. Yeah, that Monica's the deputy. But Joy, I think it'll work out. After that whole conversation, I don't. I think as long as you answer their questions, I think we'll be able to move forward with it.
It seemed like there was some concerns.
They, just I think the impression that the county was like giving up a position, which it's not, and we also clarified, I mean, the funding that the county had loaned out wasn't county funds. It was a revolving loan program that came from New York State funding sources. So what the county can actually recoup there's a cap, and it's a lot more, it's a lower amount as well compared to what the IDA's owned. The IDA funds were IDA funds, so there's a number of arguments for why the county should agree to keep the positions as they are.
Okay.
The interesting thing, and I know this from the other hat over here, is that 47 Chestnut LLC signed a contract with Tom Cormier to assume his debt.
Right.
Community Bank, NBT, IDA, not any county issue. The county debt is exclusively with Tom Cormier.
Oh, really? But Dave, the county has a lien on the deed.
That may be true, but that was not in the contract, and so I don't know how that, somebody in the county probably needs to, did someone check that deed recently to make sure that there's a lien on it?
Yes.
They did?
Yeah. The problem, Dave, is whoever did the title search for that the Chestnut Corporation, I don't think they did a proper title search. Because if they
But is the deed on the county in 47 Chestnut LLC?
I don't think there's a new deed that's been issued. I don't think they could do that. There was a new deed.
Let's face
Yeah,
it.
this has been the ongoing, like, what is the situation from day one?
The other thing we figured out.
I can check with real property and just see what
Yeah, community bank debt is on the real estate and the building. MBT debt is not. It's on Cormier's business. So it's just.
What about the county now?
okay. Well, Tammy
has lien on the property.
Tammy ran a search.
Yeah.
And it is showing the county as a lien on the property.
Okay.
So, and Dave, in IGA, this was one of the things we talked about, that, obviously that would be an issue for, in general, the ownership. If the county has a lien on that property, obviously I would think that Oneonta Theater would want, the holding company, but Friends Oneonta Theater, whoever, that they'd want to clear that up. So I think the county needs also to clear this up as well. So.
I agree. Yeah, the goal right now, 47 LLC, is to clear up all debts.
Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah, I think
still can't figure it out.
I think, Dave, the outstanding amount was like $41,000.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So, well, we started talking about this months and months ago when this whole transaction started. Did Chris or Kurt look at the title? Didn't somebody look at the title
Yes.
for us?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the title work's been done from our perspective, and I think from Andrew could reference that and look at it. But I can sign a deed to my house to anybody in the room there, and you can transfer title, but you're taking it subject to the debt.
Right.
Right.
So if there was a mortgage on it, that's fine. Now, from the county perspective, it's very easy to look at and go, okay, so how do they recoup their $41,000? Well, they got to pay off the bank. They'd have to pay off the IDA. They'd have to pay off everybody, and then hope and pray that they could sell that property for enough to recoup what they paid off and then recover something. So I think it's a pretty easy, look. logically to say there is no equity here. We're trying to salvage a property. So, it shouldn't be a real difficult financial look, I don't think.
Do you, Jeff, and do you think, so that 41,000, like, for example, the question I think the county's confronting is should the county be having a similar discussion like the IDA, and the max amount that the county could technically take in terms of that particular funding source, I think is like 35,000, because anything over that amount it all goes back to New York State. So if I guess I'm asking all of you, should I don't think the county has had this hanging out there for a long time. Is it in the best interest of this project that the county, it is county dollars? Does the county try to recoup something? Does the county decide that, it's in the best interest of the project overall, that, that the county should just erase that liability?
What was the county's philosophy prior to this? What were they going to do? Just sit on it?
No, it was a part of an established program that was a legitimate revolving loan program. And so the county, this is one of many failed revolving loans, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so there's definitely a handful or more that failed completely, that the county. The difference with this one, and I think there's two right now, this one and another one, where the county actually this was for property. The majority of the other ones were for equipment. And so I think what the county is trying to do is clear up these and put them to rest, because the auditors flagged them. They've been hanging out there for a long time. And but this one and another one are tied specifically to property.
Did the county ever receive a payment?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. The original loan amount was 50,000. So definitely, Tom made payments. Yeah.
Andrew, one other thing. When we structured our repayment, it's over a 10-year period. If the county were to structure a similar agreement, they could ask for the full 41,000 back, because it won't get paid in 1 year.
Okay. Yeah, I think the county ideally would like to recoup something, just like the IDA. That's the ideal scenario.
What do you mean by asking for it all in 1 year? I mean, if they could barely make the payments we're asking them to make, why would we think they'd be able to suddenly come up with?
Well, what Tony indicated was that if they get paid more than 35,000, they have to return that money to the state.
Right.
And what I'm saying is that they should structure it.
Spread it out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's in 1 year, Cheryl. So
yeah.
I don't know, to the point of their financial position. If they can't afford it, they can't afford it, right? I mean, that's a conversation. And and that, obviously county hasn't had any discussion with that group at all.
Nope. Zero.
Yeah, it's zero. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting, proposition. I'm guessing at this point, what happened? I forgot. Community and MBT, where they said they forgive. I can't remember.
Nobody forgave anything.
That was Foothills, you're thinking.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Well, community, yeah, I think community, and I don't want to speak for MBT. I think I heard it in the meeting, but I think both of those loans are current, aren't they?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a county call on your end, Andrew, in terms of.
Yeah, I think I honestly, I think we are going to obviously follow up and try to have a discussion. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the sooner this gets cleared up, the better. I mean,
Yeah.
So anyway, I think Jody, just bringing it back to the agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I think, the committee was of the opinion that there was no issue. I think it was really just a deferral to the county attorney. I think by the time admin comes up, which actually is, I don't think it's next week, but the week after, hopefully this goes through admin with no issue.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Do you have any CFA applications going this year? Did anyone approach you to do one or anything?
I have no. Yeah,
You're working on two.
I mean, so one for us and then one for, the project that's happening in Cooperstown.
Did you know that?
Yes. That's it.
There was a lady from Cooperstown, I sent her your information. See if she reaches out to you.
Yeah, the mayor was trying to set up a meeting 2 weeks, I think.
But that's on
That's
the
for
one, yeah.
currently working on.
We, and any communications with the brewery that you built on Chestnut Street? No.
They had applied for one and didn't get it. They applied through the county, through TME's department. Didn't get that. I think it was a Restore New York, I think.
County's applying for a grant to hire, I think it's a large amount, 350,000 or something like that, to hire consultants.
Are they doing that application?
I just have a quick question.
She maybe did stop down and see some new owners.
Yeah.
Question I can wait till after the meeting. That's not really an agenda item.
Anything else?
Has anyone been approached in our offices about a potential new hotel in Oneonta?
No. Negative, Jeff.
What's that?
Negative.
Okay.
Are you aware of one that might be happening?
I'm aware of one that is in discussions right now.
Or they have that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the location?
Where's that gonna go?
Yes, near the All-Star Village. Which is sad because we have one right here on Main Street that's like
Right.
Yeah.
non-existent, yeah. Anything else? Anything else, guys?
No, I'm all set.
All right. Okay.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Andrew.
Hey, Jody, quick question. Did you get the budget information yet from?
No,
No, you haven't. Okay.
the administrator,
Yeah, or he obviously is still out, but his staff hasn't provided that information to you.
I have not received anything from him.
Okay.
Steve, or I'll email him after.
Email do you have Madeline's? Let me send an email to you and Madeline and Steve, because my understanding is that they have those budget numbers. They've all been delivered to the department heads. My understanding is they have them for our partner organizations as well. So that I thought that was supposed to be provided to you. So let me send a quick email.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right.
All right, have a
Bye,
good day.
guys.
Bye.